You know, there are all kinds of stories today about Bill Clinton and his sexual predator behavior back in the 90s. Some of these stories are literally fascinating. Some of them are about how the Clintons don't seem to realize the potential minefield the Bill Clinton, Monica Lewinsky, and others' story is, as though they're in a state of denial. Why wouldn't they be? They got away with it. Not a single thing. What happened to Bill Clinton was, and compared to what could have happened, nobody. He had to settle with Paula Jones for $850,000, as after James Carville had said, yeah, that's what you get when you drag a dollar bill through a trailer park. You never know what you're going to happen. Never know what you're going to get. And Paula Jones is what you get. So it was perfectly fine to rip women who had come forward, alleged sexual abuse, alleged that they'd been raped, or it was perfectly fine for Clinton and his team to put them down, to impugn them, to cast them as liars. And it was Mrs. Clinton in charge of all that. Clinton lost his law license for a year. He had to settle with Paula Jones for $850,000, and that was it. And then after that, he assumes the position of brightest star in the Democrat Party. Why wouldn't they be in denial? Why, if they got away with it then, why should it be a factor now in their minds? How can anybody dredging it up cause them any harm today when it really didn't hurt them back then? And what they're not counting on is the cultural differences. It's a different country today, particularly among young people. The millennials, it's a much different country than it was back then. Back then, seems like the majority reaction, hey, it's just sex. And it's not getting away the way he does a job. Come on, just a bunch of Republicans trying to nail a guy. It's no big deal. Back off. But that's not the cultural attitude toward the abuse of women today, particularly on college campi and where other places that millennials hang out. But there are even liberal drive-by media types writing stories about this, and they are revisiting some of the juiciest details of all of this. And by the way, a confirmation is another story here. All of this, I'm setting the table. We'll get to this as the program unfolds. And I mentioned yesterday that I had seen, or maybe it was yesterday, I saw it on Monday. This is Wednesday, right? So, yeah, Monday, Clinton's in New Hampshire is his first campaign appearance for Hillary. And I thought, I looked at it, it was going on during show prep and some during the show. This guy looked old, looked feeble, looked fragile. Was rambling incoherently. The crowd was not mesmerized, and he did not have them in the palm of his hand, particularly women. They had a bunch of women, as they're wont to do. They stack the crowd behind the podium. So when the person's speaking, you see a supposedly adoring crowd at rapt attention. Well, they did that, but there were women rolling their eyes, and Clinton didn't even address that. It was just really, I thought, strange. It was not in any way remindful of the Bill Clinton of the 90s. And a couple people writing about it today would have the same reaction to it. And some are even contrasting the Bill Clinton and Donald Trump, same age. And you wouldn't know it looking at them. I mean, Clinton looks like he could be Trump's dad. The energy level, no comparison whatsoever.